Okay, hi guys, and welcome to this video on state symbols. This is going to be a really quick one. What you need to be able to do is recognize the 4 different state symbols and understand what they mean. You need to be able to use those correctly in chemical equations. And if you're given a chemical equation, you need to be able to interpret the state symbols and understand what's going on. So let's dive in straight away and have a look. Okay, so here we are. We have our 4 state symbols, and those are solid, gaseous, which is the G, aqueous, which is the one people get confused with, which is AQ in brackets, and liquid, which is just an L. Right, now solid is probably the most self-explanatory. Okay, if a substance is a solid as it appears in the chemical equation, then that substance has the S symbol. For example, let's say I had calcium carbonate, which is an insoluble salt. I would write the S symbol like that, right? So that is pretty basic. The G stands for gaseous, and that obviously just means as a gas, right? So if you have a substance which in your chemical equation is a gas, it will have the G symbol. For example, let's say we had ammonia, right? Ammonia is always going to be a gas, right, at any kind of regular temperature. You can, of course, turn it into a liquid and solid, but you're generally never going to see it like that. It's going to be a gas, and it's going to have that G symbol. All right, moving on. Now, these last 2 are the ones which are easy to confuse. Now, aqueous, right? Aqueous actually means in solution, right? So I'm actually going to write that. I'll just handwrite it and try to make it legible. Okay, so in solution. And what we mean by in solution is we mean pretty much dissolved in water, right? Generally, that means dissolved in water. That's what aqueous is. So if you have anything which is a liquid, but it's not pure, so it's a solution, then you're going to be writing aqueous, right? For example, hydrochloric acid, right? Hydrochloric acid is always in water, so it's an aqueous solution, right? HCl could be a gas as well, by the way, so be careful of that. Sometimes you can have hydrogen chloride gas. Another one could be sodium hydroxide, right? Sodium hydroxide, which is of course an alkali. Well, it's an alkaline solution, so it's aqueous. Something else might be, let's say, I don't know, sodium chloride, right? So table salt. So sodium chloride. Okay, sorry about that. That's just my Amazon Alexa playing up. Let's try and ignore that. Okay, that should hopefully have sorted it. So sodium chloride will dissolve in water readily and form sodium chloride solution. And if it does, you'll see it written like this. Okay, finally, liquid. Now, liquid is the one you see more rarely. Okay, now liquid means that it's a pure liquid, right? It means that it's not a solution. It means that it's not dissolved in water. It means it's something which is pure, right? So let's say, for example, we took this sodium chloride, but you actually took table salt and raised it to a really high temperature and melted it. If you melted table salt or sodium chloride, you would end up with sodium chloride liquid, right? And you would write it like this. This tells you that it's not a solution. It tells you that it is a liquid. Lastly, the most common time you're going to see the liquid state symbol is with water, right? H2O is never written as H2O aqueous. Instead, it's written H2O liquid. That's because it doesn't make any sense to dissolve water in water, right? Water is water. And so when you have water in an equation, if it is a liquid, it will have the liquid symbol. It won't have the AQ symbol. Okay? And that about does it. So now you should be able to recognize those state symbols, right? And you should be able to put them in an equation. If you know what the chemical reaction is, you should be able to pick the correct one. And if you're given a chemical equation, then you should be able to interpret the state symbols from that and know exactly what they mean. So if you see liquid, then you know that it's either water or it's molten. And if it's AQ, then you know that it is in solution. Okay, so I hope you followed that. And it made a lot of sense to you. Thanks very much, as always, for watching and for listening. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video.